Okay, and we are recording. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank
guys.
you
We
for
got
thank you
Mickey,
Yeah.
yes, Mickey in the
in the
house,
building,
Mickey, Coco, Sydney,
How are you?
Soil, and
in the
Tom
house.
Story Songs in the house.
All
Hey,
right.
guys.
So yeah, it's like if you're not again going back to the surgery augmentations or whatever it
Breast
might is,
augmentation
or
surgery.
whatever, it's like if you don't need to be in the surgery table, if you're not sick, in other words,
Yeah, you shouldn't get surgery,
like
right?
don't do it. Do not do it. Period.
People
But
want,
you know,
yeah,
people want to. I think
implants.
a lot. It's a lot because of what people are. I believe, especially women, what they see is like
Yeah, yeah.
watching something like whether it's American Idol, whatever, or some kind of beauty contest, and they're like, "Are and these are the women that win, and they look this kind of way." So it's like they sell out to that.
But they also
Yeah.
try to distance ourselves from ourselves. When you look
Exactly.
at these magazines or the
Yeah.
girls on television, they
Mm,
create a world that is not
yeah.
real. And a lot of women fall for that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
man.
yeah. The thing is, it's not even achievable. It's not real. It's
Well,
a
I mean,
complete
so there's like,
manipulation.
yeah, but there's on the other end of that is like how much in media is it that women are left having to rely so much on their image and stuff like that? Like, how many sitcoms have you seen where
Yeah.
some kind of overweight, kind of goofy looking guy gets is married to some knockout? And
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah,
and that's that and they're
Man.
like teaching
That
that like
happens. That
that's
happens right here.
I know.
Yeah, it
Well,
happens.
I mean, it
No,
happens, but at the same time, it starts
Yeah.
to get treated as like that's the expectation,
yeah,
right,
and
right.
it's
Or
like,
that's some kind of like that's a
eh,
goal or something like that. Maybe.
yeah,
But
yeah, but it's like, well, why is the woman got to settle for a man that's not taking care of his body,
That's
to stay
true.
fit,
That's
uh-huh.
true.
Yeah, it should.
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, invite.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
she don't
know,
gotta settle. She don't gotta settle. I mean, I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
girls that like they spend all day in the gym, like working out and
yeah,
fuck,
All day.
got a great body. She ain't
yeah,
gonna be with some just random
yeah.
guy because
She's
she
gonna.
knows she's
She
putting
rather
on
be
the
with the
work.
little short fat
No, the
dude that
guy,
takes
yeah,
care monetarily.
the men has to
She's gonna
have
pick
the
that dude over the
money, and
dude
the
with the
girl
muscles.
has to have the body.
Right.
That's how it
yeah,
works. Men, money.
yeah,
Girls,
Yeah,
body.
people really forget what is
That's how
really
it is.
important. What is really very important in a relationship? I ask one guy, I ask him, listen, what's more important? That the girl lies next to you, trust you, or sex? He said sex. I said wrong. If a woman dares to lie
Yeah.
next to you and she trusts you, then
yeah,
you done it good like a man. And when she gives you sex, that is your compliment for treating her right. That's how it needs to
Yeah.
be.
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, like if there's also trust involved, the sex is better.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
Well
right.
said, well
like
said. Yeah,
yeah,
What?
because she'll
Yeah,
let herself be free. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
man.
She can open up to you, that she gives a lot
Yeah,
more of
yeah,
her.
yeah,
And that's you can have better sex, yeah, when you
yeah.
know the person more,
Like
right?
I personally, when you talk about the money situation and stuff, I'm actually doing the opposite thing. My wife is the breadwinner, and I'm the stay-at-home parent.
Amen,
Right.
man. Yeah.
I
It's
love
just
that.
it just works out better for our personalities and stuff like that, and
Right.
then our background and stuff like that. Like she just had the better paying job, and so when she got pregnant and stuff, we decided I would be at home, so be with our child rather than pay a babysitter to do it because my paycheck would have just gone straight to a babysitter. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made it work. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, but
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
like lower percentage
Yeah.
married
Yeah.
people.
No,
You
you'd
know
be
what I mean?
amazed. You'd
But
be amazed.
No, I'm saying there are cases like that, but it's not like a lot compared to.
No, I'm saying
but
I don't think that's that uncommon in New York, for example, right?
well, I still run into believe it or not, I run into a lot of sexism.
Okay.
Like,
Really?
yeah, like they don't like a lot of teachers and like especially with elementary school stuff, like they're
Right.
like,
Oh,
what is a man doing with a young child?
Right.
And
Wow.
oh, but it's
it's
your
like,
son, right?
But
yeah,
it's
it's my
your
son.
kid,
Yeah, it's my
dude.
son. But they don't. But it's like this
Come
They
sort of
want to
on.
know
attitude
the
that
whole
like
story.
men can't handle young children, and
Right.
so they just figure that the reason why I'm at home is because I can't hold a job and stuff like that. Not that it was a conscious choice,
Right.
a decision that we sat down and talked about and made these choices, and that
Right.
and I've had I like in preschool, one of my son's teachers wouldn't even look me in the eye
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
Really?
and have discussions with me because they just figure a man with a young child, like what does he know about children? Like was
Wow.
so yeah,
You know, fuck them. You know, I'm
yeah,
very proud of you that you're doing this. Stand up for yourself. You
yeah.
know what you can do. They don't have to know. It's not their world, it's your world. Fuck them. That's
Well, that's
simple.
exactly what I've had
Oh,
to do is
yeah.
because they were treating me like I didn't know what I was doing. I'd tell them how,
Right.
like if my son was having problems, I would tell them, well, this is how they do. And and they would call my wife and ask her. And I'm like, I told you what to do.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Oh my
Yeah. And
No.
my
God. Oh,
wife is like,
I'm glad I'm not in your shoes because I will kick their asses.
yeah. And
Really?
so,
My
and
God.
so my
Oh,
wife would have to tell them, I'm at work. What are you doing? Call my husband. Like,
really? Oh my God. Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like a different role, man. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a
I'm
man to
so
take on that
sorry for
type of
you, dude.
responsibility,
Yeah.
that's a different role.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry for you, dude. I'm really sorry.
yeah, but I mean, I fortunately I have the self-confidence where I just basically said I'm not tolerating this. Like if
Yeah.
yeah,
like I was like, are you gonna listen to me or like, because so like I stood up for myself, like you said,
Yeah.
and stuff. But there's some people
Yeah. Yeah.
and the thing is that look, I know
It's
my
a
situation is
situation.
different and it's not as common, but I see the on the other side of it, I have
Right.
seen lots of men when it
Uh-huh.
comes to the young children just let
Uh-huh.
the woman take the lead and then they just stand there going, I don't know what to do, so they don't even ask to even
Right.
try to learn what to do.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Like
Right.
when my wife was pregnant, there's or when my son was first born, there was a couple times she was trying to do everything, and I had to I told her to knock it off. I can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Go take a nap.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there's plenty
Yeah.
of men that would have just go, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna go sit and watch the game or something.
You
And it's
know
like, and
what?
you could see her struggling.
Yeah. No,
Step up,
look.
and if you don't know what to do, ask her to teach you what to do.
No, man.
You
That's
know,
Well
like,
Right.
said.
I
Well
gotta.
said. Yeah.
yeah,
Well
that's how
said.
you
Yeah.
do it.
I
yeah.
mean, no, like I want to say it's because like girls actually they get really nervous and like I don't know, like
Hmm.
yeah, like they get really anxious and nervous and they cannot really handle situations sometimes. Like they think they know it all, but sometimes you gotta like relax and like take like breathe and take a minute to figure things
Hmm.
out and then do it. But sometimes like moms like just rush into everything and it's like, hey, you gotta do this and put this on and then you close it.
Yeah,
And they're just so nervous about it. And it's like just relax. It's not that hard. Just
yeah,
especially when they start growing. When they're little, when they're like babies, I know it's
yeah,
hard, you know. It's really hard
yeah.
because they
Yeah,
could like even when they crying and shit, like you gotta. But I mean, there's
Oh, it
tricks.
rips your heart out when you're crying and then you can't figure out why because
You
they
gotta
can't
ignore
talk.
that.
Yeah.
No, no, you gotta
Yeah,
ignore that. Well, they cannot
but the
talk.
thing
Yeah,
is that there's two of you, at least two of you, if you
Right.
don't have other family members around to ask questions and help out with. But the point is that don't just sit back and wait for somebody else to do the work. If you could see somebody struggling, help them.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, so
Sometimes you can like figure out what to do. Like it's not that hard, really. Like people do it. Like I've been doing it forever, you know. Like
yeah,
having kids, it's not that hard. And
yeah,
actually, they make people be so afraid. Like they think having a
yeah,
kid's gonna ruin their life and all.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
yeah.
have
It will
one
enhance
son.
your life if you do it right. It will
I love
enhance
my
your
son,
life.
man. I would never be regret having my son, man. That was the best thing I
Mm,
ever did. Like
mm.
for real, you know.
but it is a lot of work.
It is a lot of
having
work, man.
kids.
But
Oh yes.
yeah, I mean, but like, what else you gonna do? Like, when if you're gonna be old and no one's gonna care about you, like if you
Mm,
got kids, at least, like, and if you're a cool
yeah.
dad, like, I try to be a cool dad, I try to
Mm,
be related to my son and play with him and like teach him cool stuff, like
yeah.
I'm like I ignore him. When he starts acting like a baby, I ignore him. And he
Mm,
Yeah,
stops. He stops and he knows this is not gonna work because I don't want no
that's
baby.
good. That's good. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, he's already 7, he's gonna be 8. So he understands everything. He's like I told him like a man, I want him to be a man. I don't want him to be a baby.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, talk about relationship in between men and women. I think the most important thing is in the relationship is that you can be a team together. If you can be a team, you can handle everything. As long as you stay calm and keep thinking instead of going off on your emotions, that
Mm.
you keep track of that, and then you have a team, how it works. And then when the other one is sick or tired, the other one can take over. That's how you can keep going.
Yeah, communication. Let
Yeah, yeah,
let your partner know how you're doing. You
yeah.
know, don't try to hold up. Don't try to be a superhero. Go, look, I'm
No.
struggling right now. I'm gonna need help. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Be open.
I saw this thing where this couple they do a thing. They'd say a thing like, the wife went up to the husband and said, I'm only running at 70 today. I'm going to need you to do 130 today because I can't get any better. And that's the clue for the husband. All right, I understand. Some days you just have that. And the
Yeah.
husband would then step up and try to help out a little more. But that was just the vocabulary they chose to use for saying that I needed more. I'm not, I'm off my mark today. I need help. You know, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
big. The
Yeah.
communication part, and
Yeah.
Communication.
and understanding each other and where you are,
Yeah.
and plus it comes with like growth and relationships too as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah.
Where you both are, and working things out, organic. Who who's doing what, who's doing this, and just
Mm.
help each other out. So
Yeah, and I can be perfectly honest with you guys. I am scared of love. I can tell you that, and
Uh,
I would love to have a good relationship, but I am changing. Because I want to change. But what I've been through in life, I'm scarred of that of what I've been
Mm.
through, and that's why when somebody comes on my path and I want and to, there's something there, I turn around and walk away because I'm scared of engaging it and
Yeah.
it's I
but
don't
why?
want
But
that,
why
but
though? What? But why though? Like, have you ever thought what's the root? Where does it come from?
yeah. I lost my mom at a very young age when I was
Oh,
8 years
okay,
old,
okay.
and then I started to become a young adult. For I wanted to take care of my dad and my brother, and it's also very hard for me for somebody to take care of me. I want it, but
Mm.
I always was taking care of other people because for me that was my role, and for me it's very hard to see the opposite of that, and I rather destroy it than accept it. Yeah, it's stupid. I know it.
No,
It's
well, I mean, yeah, I totally see where you're coming from. I mean, like, lots of people are like that. I almost, like we get stuck in our ways and stuff like that. And my experience was how I found my wife is I knew I'm not perfect. I knew I had my own baggage and stuff like that. But the way that I would do it is I would be straightforward about what I'm doing, where I came from, like pretty much lay it out like almost first date type of stuff, or
Mhm.
basically give hints of it. Like my wife and I actually met through OK Cupid. That's a
Okay,
online.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Online
Yeah, and
dating.
in my profile, I was just really honest, and it threw people off when I was dating because they expect you to kind of bullshit in your profile, but then when they would
Yeah.
meet me
Mm,
and they go, "Wow, you were really like just,"
Yeah.
and I said the way I looked at it is like I don't want you to get any surprises,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
right? And so I would just be telling. I just put it straight out there, and then being an artist and stuff like that. Of course, we have a tendency to be extra passionate, but I would just be very straightforward about who I am, what my expectations are, and what to expect from me. And basically, if they didn't run and hide when I put it all out there, then you got to go, all right, well, so far they're not scared. And even
Mm.
though, like what you're talking about, where you're afraid that it's kind of like you're afraid that they're not going to accept you if they knew the entirety of all
Wow.
your thoughts.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the same time, if you just tell them what your thoughts are, they can either help your thoughts be better, or at least they can accept them. And that's when you know you're going in the right direction. When somebody
I,
goes,
I'm
okay,
I'm
you know,
scared
yeah,
that they will leave me. So I do everything that they will leave me because
They will then. They will.
yeah,
If you're scared,
yeah, I'm scared of leaves. I will do everything that will do that. So I will be what I think will be the right. I will how do you say it in English?
like you want to say the right things and you're afraid they're going to leave you. But if you're focusing of
No,
them
no, no,
leaving
no,
you,
no,
then they
no.
no,
will.
no, no.
In
What he's getting. I think what I understand he's getting at is he's getting at the idea that he's afraid if he lets them know they're going to leave, and he's making the. Now, what you're doing is you're taking power away from them.
yeah,
You're trying to control a situation that you don't even know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Give them the power to decide what to do, is all I can suggest to you. Don't assume how somebody's going to react. And
Right.
like I said, like what I did, and I'm in a very happy marriage, is because of the community. What we talked about is communication, and I didn't lie about who I am. I put it out there, and I was as intense as I wanted to be. Sometimes, am I intense in the wrong situations? Absolutely. Okay,
Mm.
but if somebody's going to leave because they can't handle who you are,
Well, then let them, right?
all you yeah,
Yeah.
that
It
then they're
should
not
never
the
be
right
there.
ones. They're not the right ones
Exactly.
for you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know,
Okay, it's
it's
like
like giving myself
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like giving myself confirmation of what I think. That's what I
Yeah.
do. I give my
It's
own confirmation for I
yeah,
think they're going to leave me,
yeah,
so I'm going to do this. I self-destruct and to give
yeah,
myself confirmation I was right.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you have
yeah, it
prophesized
is.
it's going to happen, and so you kind of make it happen
Yeah.
rather than just putting it, letting them be, letting them
Yeah,
see
I'm
the
on the
thing.
phone. Oh.
Yeah, because if you hide yourself, you're also creating a problem that where you're getting attached the longer. And so that was my thought, is like I would only date one person at a time, because I wanted my energy and no confusion about who I was talking to and stuff like that. I was like, I'm going to deal with them, and I'm going to put it all out there as fast as I can. And if they can't handle it, well, then at least it's 3, 4 dates, maybe 3, 4 dates in, and they go, you know what, this isn't. I don't see us going anywhere. And then you already know, and you're on to looking to somebody else, rather than doing a paced out. I got to be careful about what I say. I got to be careful about who I am. And
Right.
then they find out 3 years down the road, when you finally let out all the same
Yeah.
stuff, that
Even
you guys shouldn't have been involved.
nah,
So
man.
just
Because
like
I
Even when
show your cards.
I like what you say also with the part that you
Yeah,
concentrate on one person at a time. I
yeah,
think that's a really a good thing to say because if you have multiple women that you're going out with, then you
yeah,
have to give your power to all of them. That then you go crazy because you don't know which one was matching with your energy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's usually how it goes. Like with dating, anyway. Like the very reason you date is because there's a mutual interest in the
yeah,
beginning,
yeah,
and you feel like, hey, well, we talk for a good little while. She's nice. She into me, and so that's usually how it goes.
yeah,
You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It's not like, oh, you just pick some random girl, but
yeah.
like if it's interest mutually on both sides, you
Mm-hmm,
Right,
know,
right.
unless it comes to like critical points
mm-hmm,
to where, you know, sometimes you have to bend their way, sometimes you bend the other person's way. But it's
yeah,
not letting go of your morals or your character,
Why do you find
but
her
it's just
nowhere?
dealing.
a second girl comes out.
The second girl?
You know, I mean,
Second,
a new
What if, I
relationship.
mean, it is
What?
true that when you're in a good
Well,
relationship,
Yeah.
you're saying
what if out of nowhere a second girl comes?
Yeah.
what if a second girl comes to your
because
All right.
usually like if you
what
in a
if,
dating situation,
Mhm.
usually it's not a second girl because usually you don't notice a second girl when you really into somebody.
Yeah,
Right,
You
right,
don't
right.
and
really
I
notice
like
anybody
what
else.
like
That's a
yeah,
good
and another
point.
thing that I never I've had women make passive comments about my looks or something like that, and I just pretend that I don't hear it because
Yeah,
I absolutely don't give any encouragement. I don't
right?
compliment, and it's like I can be friends and friendly with women and stuff like that, but I will never do like a flirty compliment.
yeah, yeah,
Never. It's always like
that-
if it'd be like if they were my sister or something like that.
yeah.
That's the type of compliment that you give, and that's the extent of it. You give no encouragement because again, you get into other people kind of like with their own baggage, and you might actually say something unintentional, but and get them thinking, oh, he must not be happy in his marriage or something. Maybe I can come in,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
it's like the truth is your marriage is none of their business, and so
Yeah.
you just
And
got
And
to
you
be
need to look
careful.
out. Yeah, and some women.
if you act like that, you're probably not happy in your
You're
marriage right
probably
now.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and also
yeah.
there are some women out there that are very dangerous. That they some
yeah.
women really do it for the fun to destroy marriages. You really need to look out for these girls and step away from them because they are on the hunt for these kind of
Oh
things.
yeah, there.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
That's why, yeah. Even with them though, if you don't give them any type of feedback back, like if they, because they'll come in trying to be, you know, trying to get your attention, and that's the thing is that if especially if they know you're involved with somebody and they start doing that, then you shouldn't even give them the time of day
Yeah.
beyond saying, I'm in a relationship. You need to step. Don't talk. Don't come at me like that. And if that's the only way you know how to come at me, then don't come at me at all.
What if
Yeah.
you guys been
You
friends
know,
for a long time?
he's like,
uh,
I
well,
mean,
if you're,
even before this
wait a
relation.
minute, you're talking about.
yeah. Well, I
This
mean,
There
if
sounds
should be
you're friend,
boundaries.
personal.
okay,
It sounds personal. Now this sounds like it's happened.
yeah. Well, if you're
Sounds like
friends, be
my life.
yeah. Well, it's like, look, I'm friends. I'm on some level friends with like most of my exes. And that was one of the things that I would tell somebody when I was dating them is like, I'm on good terms with my exes. I will be wishing them
uh-huh,
happy birthday. I will
uh-huh,
be, every once in a while, we will be having conversations on the phone, catching up because like
yeah,
going back to the
Right.
communication, I always really worked on having good communication with my relationships. And so even
uh-huh,
when they went south, it wasn't bitter. Like, sure, it
Mm.
sucks being told, hey, you're not the one. But at the same time, because we were so good at communication, we understood that the paths were parting before we actually made it official. And we just realized we weren't the ones for each other, but good luck, And so
yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of nice to know like the good things are happening to people in your past, somebody you cared about and stuff like that. Like I don't get
I
on big old
mean,
long conversations regularly with my exes or anything, but every once in a while one might call me and
yeah,
check in and go, how's you doing? How's your wife? How's your son? Type of stuff. Yeah. And then we go, well, and I'll ask them about their family life and stuff like that. It's just nice to know
yeah,
that it's
you
good,
know,
but you have to be honest about it. And we never flirt.
And how's your wife about
Like,
it?
yeah.
they
There's
say
no,
that when
yeah,
you have sex with a person, what's that sound? There's people around. Huh? I'm getting
yeah,
some.
Yeah.
People walking by.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
yeah,
somebody.
Okay, I was just what I was gonna say is like when you have sex with someone, like with a girl, and then you have a connection for life, actually. Like maybe you
yeah,
broke up and like you're not a couple anymore, but if
yeah,
you actually like mature enough, you nurture a relationship that goes beyond the sex and beyond and you can
Yeah,
still be friends and you don't even get mad about it. Like you break
yeah,
up, but you still care about the person. You don't get that
I
possessive. Maybe
do.
it's not
yeah,
your person now, but you
Yeah.
still have a relationship somehow.
You want them to
Like
be happy,
yeah,
like because you cared about them, and even
exactly.
if you're not the one, like you're like, I mean, I hope I learned a lot from them in the
Well,
development, but it's like they're not the one for me,
but one thing is wishing them be happy. That's good
Yeah,
and great.
yeah,
But another thing is to keep having a friend's relationship, right? Like to
yeah,
be keeping in touch once in a while and
yeah,
like be
Yeah.
okay with that, right? And not get turned on or if you
yeah,
get turned on, like ignoring that, just keeping it into
yeah,
I don't know, like
Yeah, I also still talk to my ex, and because when I sometimes I see I'm like, she's still very beautiful, and sometimes because of her life where she goes through, sometimes she gets home and then she's so tired and she did not eat. So I said, listen, I give you €10, then you can eat. I just because I care about her, I want it to be okay, and sometimes I'm like, oh God, she looks so bad. So I give her some money to eat, and she's like, "Thank you so much." And but for me, because I care, for me that's normal.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Because the one thing what she really did, because I was talking about the whole thing about destroying everything and all stuff, and I did learn a couple of things before her, but because of our relationship, now I learned certain things that I can use for my
mm-hmm,
next relationship. It's also because of her, and
yeah,
I always will be grateful to her that she gave me that opportunity to learn these things.
yeah,
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, and that's really smart because you gotta be grateful for that because
It's like
people don't
what?
even realize that
No,
how
it's
much
like
you've
what?
grown.
How does the saying go? You learn from the losses, not from
Right,
the wins.
It's
right, of
true. It's
course.
true. It's
yeah,
true. It's true. And
Yeah,
maybe she will come one day to my home. I'm still single. If she comes here and we want to have a great time together, why not? We trust
yeah,
each other and we
yeah,
feel good with each other. Why not? And maybe there is still some hope someday. I don't know. And like my father said, you don't have to be in a relationship to have a good time together.
Right.
yeah. And,
So,
and again, maybe like you talked about, if I'm correct, you talk about, you're the one that you say you self-destruct, right? I'm just, because I
mhm.
get voices, I got these voices, and I'm not getting faces all the time. So, but like you said, you self-destruct, right? Because you're assuming it's going to go bad.
Mhm.
So maybe you don't know that maybe part of the problem is that the other the woman feels the same way, and she self you both are self-destructing when the truth is something could come out like when you both kind of reach a self-awareness mode where you then can start trying to push yourself to just open up and go, look, this is what I'm dealing with
Mhm.
myself. These are the
Mhm.
this is me arguing with myself right now. I have this baggage. Do you want to listen to my baggage and stuff? And you find out, and that could be a bot, like it may not even turn into a loving, like a romantic romance, but you could even get better friends just by opening and going, this is what I'm dealing with right now. And see who of your actual friends, man or woman, whatever the type of relationship it is willing to like sit there and listen to you talk about what's really going on in your deeper psyche. You
And
know,
usually
Mhm.
those are the real friends
yeah,
that are willing to sit with you and talk with you and
yeah,
because I've been friends with my homeboys since I think he was 14 and I was like I think 17,
mm,
and we had a natural like a friendship start. We talked about stuff and over the years we grew together. But we'll sit in and talk about real stuff, real life
mm,
stuff, about how we feeling, emotions and stuff like that. Those
mm,
usually are the real friends, man.
yeah,
So that's what
True,
I've seen
true,
in life, you know. Yeah,
true, true.
yeah,
Yeah, guys, I want to ask you something. Did
yeah.
you
yeah.
hear about Puff Daddy? That
Oh,
what all happened?
who
Oh,
hasn't?